thing we need to do is to prepare the ending finished goods inventory budget. So, you might confuse the ending finished goods inventory budget with the ending inventory requirement or the desired ending inventory. It is different because basically, if we are to prepare the ending finished goods inventory budget, we have to compute for the ending balance of our inventory to be presented in the statement of financial position later on, right? So, okay, the first thing we're going to do for us to be able to prepare the ending finished goods inventory budget is to compute for the direct material per unit of finished goods. Okay, so basically we know that we have two direct materials. We have our, let me see, K298, K298, and we also have part C30. So the direct material per unit, we know that we need 2 units of K298 at 4 pesos each in order to produce 1 unit of finished goods, and then we need 3 units of part C30 in order at 7 pesos each, $7 each in order to produce 1 unit of finished goods. So the total direct material per unit is equal to 29. Okay? Next, we go to our direct labor per unit of finished goods. So for our direct labor per unit of finished goods, it says in the problem that 1 unit of output requires 1.5 hours of direct labor. Okay? So we have 1.5 hours multiplied by the direct labor rate per hour, which is 20. We have 30. So we are going to use this later on, 29 and 30. Now, for our overhead, the computation will be slightly different. So, earlier I've mentioned that the total fixed cost, or rather the fixed cost per unit, varies indirectly with the changes in the level of activity. Since the direct labor hours is the activity driver for the overhead cost, and we use different levels or different number of direct labor hours each month, the overhead rate per month will be different. Okay, so how are we going to do this? So I am going to refer to our overhead budget. So we have total overhead, so this one. Okay, so for a while, let's just copy this first. And then for our total overhead, we have 229,000, 227,800, and 243,400 respectively. Now, what I will do here is I will divide this by the total direct labor hours. The total direct labor hours incurred. Okay, the total direct labor hours incurred for the month. Okay, so for the total direct labor hours, I'll just copy here as values only. Okay, so for the total direct labor hours, I just have to copy this. Oops. So this is the total direct labor hours. Okay. So we divide the total overhead by the total direct labor hours, and we'll get the direct labor overhead rate per hour. Okay. So now we need, as you can see, the overhead rate per hour varies. The reason for this variation is because there are a lot more, or there are more direct labor hours to shoulder the fixed cost for the month of March as compared to the direct labor hours in the months of January and February. Okay? So this is not yet the per unit, but the overhead that will be shouldered of the units manufactured in January, February, and March. Okay? So since one unit of finished goods require 1.5 hours of direct material, sorry, of direct labor rather, 1.5 hour of direct labor, we will multiply the direct labor rate per hour, which is the direct labor rate per hour, by the direct labor hours required. Okay, so once we have multiplied this, 13.6 times 1.5, so we have 20.45, 20.71, and 17.9. So this is the overhead overhead rate per unit. Okay, so for the month of March, for the month of January, February, and March, as well as April, of course, we are going to have a different rate. Okay, so moving on to our, since we have already computed for the direct material, direct labor, and overhead rate per unit. We can now prepare the ending finished goods inventory budget. Okay? So we just copy this rather. Okay? So we have direct material, direct labor, and then overhead. Okay? So for our direct material, it is the same at 29 for the quarter. Okay? So for the direct labor, we have 30. So it's the same. Okay? But as far as the overhead rate or the overhead rate per unit is concerned, it is different. Okay, so we have 20.45, 20.71, 17.9, and 15.81. Okay, now we will compute for the total cost per unit. Okay, so we have the sum of the three: direct material, direct labor, and overhead cost. So I think this is not a, yeah. So we round this off to the nearest centavo. Okay? So the total cost of each unit of finished goods for the month of January is 79.45, 79.71, and 76.9 for the month of March. Okay? Now, since we already know how much is the total cost per unit, we will multiply this by the units in ending inventory. So where can we find the units in ending inventory? So we have to backtrack, we have to go back to our production budget. Okay, so let's scroll up. So the desired ending inventory for January is 2,100 units. So we have the following. So let's check if it is 26, 32, and 37 respectively. 26, 32, and 37. Okay. So now we multiply. So this is our ending inventory balance for the as of the end of the month. So we have 79.45 times 1. We have 166,837, 207,243.64, 246,070.59, and 276,782.42 for the month of April. So this is our ending inventory balance. Okay?